Imagine you're living in ancient Rome. The streets are full of noise, merchants shouting, horses clattering across stone roads, soldiers marching, and whispers of political plots in every corner. It's a time of emperors, slaves, power, and danger. And in the heart of it all stands a man named Lucius Annaeus Seneca. A thinker, a statesman, and a man who believed that even in chaos, we could find peace. Not by changing the world around us, but by mastering the world within. Seneca wasn't just any philosopher. He was a Stoic, someone who believed that happiness doesn't come from money, fame, or pleasure. Instead, it comes from virtue, self-control, and understanding what's in your power and what isn't. His words weren't just theories written in dusty books, they were lessons carved out of a life full of hardship, danger, and pressure. He knew what it meant to suffer. He knew what it meant to live under constant threat. And yet, his writings shine with a strange sense of calm. That's the power of Seneca. Now, don't think Stoicism means being cold or emotionless. It's not about becoming a rock with no feelings. It's about learning to feel wisely. Seneca teaches us that we shouldn't be ruled by our emotions, we should guide them, understand them, and never let them drag us around like slaves to our own fears or desires. He believed in living with intention. Every day was a chance to train the mind, sharpen the soul, and strengthen the heart. And the best part? You don't have to be rich, powerful, or educated to live like a Stoic. You just need the will. One of the most powerful lessons Seneca taught was this: time is our most valuable resource. Money lost can be earned again. A broken object can be repaired. But time, once it's gone, it never returns. And yet, we spend our time as if we have unlimited amounts of it. We waste days scrolling, arguing, chasing things that don't really matter. Seneca reminds us that every moment is a gift. And we should treat it that way. He wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Think about that. It hits hard, doesn't it? So, how do we stop wasting time? According to Seneca, the answer is simple: focus on what you can control. You can't stop people from gossiping. You can't prevent misfortune from striking. You can't control whether someone likes you, betrays you, or misunderstands you. But you can control how you respond. You can control your actions, your attitude, and your choices. And in that space, between what happens to you and how you react, lies your freedom. Seneca believed that we all face two kinds of challenges: the ones life throws at us, and the ones we create in our own minds. Often, the second is worse. We imagine problems that don't exist. We worry about things that haven't happened. We replay insults, overthink mistakes, and torment ourselves with what ifs. Seneca saw this clearly. He said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." That's deep. Because it means most of our pain isn't from what's actually happening, it's from our thoughts about what's happening. Let's take anger, for example. Seneca wrote an entire book about it. He saw anger as one of the most dangerous emotions, a fire that burns not just others, but the one who holds it. He said anger is temporary madness. When we let it take over, we say things we regret, do things we can't undo, and often hurt the people we love the most. But Seneca didn't just say, "Don't be angry." He gave tools. He taught people to pause, to question their assumptions, to walk away if needed, and to see things from the other person's point of view. That's what makes his philosophy so real. It's not just about ideals, it's about action. Seneca also had a lot to say about fear, especially the fear of death. In his time, death was always close. People died young. Plagues were common. Executions happened regularly. And Seneca himself lived under the rule of Emperor Nero, a man known for cruelty and paranoia. Seneca could have been killed any day. In the end, he was forced to take his own life. And yet, throughout all of this, he remained calm. Not because he didn't care, but because he had trained his mind to accept what he could not change. He wrote, "Rehearse death. To say this is to tell a person to rehearse their freedom." He didn't mean to obsess over dying. He meant that once we accept that death is part of life, we stop fearing it. And when we stop fearing death, we start living with more courage. We stop holding back. We say what needs to be said. We do what truly matters. Because we know the clock is ticking. But Seneca's philosophy wasn't just about handling fear, pain, or anger. It was also about gratitude. He believed that even in the worst times, there's always something to be thankful for. He encouraged people to notice the simple things, the warmth of the sun, a loyal friend, a clear conscience. In a world chasing bigger, faster, more, Seneca taught us to appreciate what we already have. He said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Powerful, isn't it? Seneca also believed that true wealth isn't found in gold or land, but in character. A poor man who lives with wisdom and peace is richer than a king who's full of anxiety and greed. That's a message the modern world desperately needs. Because today, so many people feel empty despite having everything. Big houses, shiny cars, thousands of followers, and still, something's missing. Seneca's answer? Live with virtue. Be honest. Be brave. Be kind. Do what's right, even when it's hard. That's the kind of wealth no one can take away from you. You know, some people say philosophy is boring, too abstract, too disconnected from real life. But when you read Seneca, you realize it's the exact opposite. It's raw. It's real. It's for the man who just lost his job, for the woman battling anxiety, for the teen feeling lost in a loud world. Seneca's words cut through the noise. They remind us that peace isn't out there, it's inside. And the battle for that peace is fought every single day, in our thoughts, our choices, our habits. There's something else Seneca teaches us, the value of friendship. He believed that real friends make us better. Not just happy. Better. A true friend is someone who tells you the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Someone who holds you accountable. Someone who walks with you through the fire, not just the sunshine. Seneca wrote letters to his friend Lucilius, and those letters are some of the richest, most practical guides to life ever written. Through those letters, he showed what it means to care, to guide, to support, even from a distance. Seneca's life wasn't perfect. Far from it. He worked for a corrupt emperor. He was accused of hypocrisy. He was incredibly wealthy despite preaching simplicity. And yet, that's what makes him so relatable. He wasn't a saint preaching from a mountaintop. He was in the trenches, just like us. Struggling to live up to his ideals. Failing sometimes. Trying again. And that, more than anything, shows the strength of his philosophy. It's not about being perfect. It's about striving, every day, to be a little wiser, a little stronger, a little freer. Think about your own life. How often do you get caught up in things that don't matter? How often do you lose sleep over something someone said, or something you might lose, or something you can't control? Seneca's message is simple but revolutionary: let it go. Focus on what's truly yours, your mind, your actions, your integrity. Everything else? Temporary. Fleeting. Don't let it rob you of peace. Seneca reminds us that the hardest battles are often the ones no one sees. The struggle to stay calm in chaos. The decision to forgive instead of retaliate. The discipline to wake up early and do the right thing when it's easier to stay in bed. But those silent battles? That's where character is built. That's where greatness begins. In a world full of noise, Seneca offers stillness. In a world obsessed with image, he offers substance. In a world chasing more, he offers enough. His voice, echoing from ancient Rome, still speaks to us today, whispering reminders to live wisely, act justly, love deeply, and fear nothing. So, the next time life throws something hard your way, ask yourself, what would Seneca say? Probably something like this: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. And maybe, just maybe, that strength will be enough to carry you through anything.